Live from WTVO 17 and your home team, Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
Americans start receiving payments from the newly expanded child tax credit. Local parents share their thoughts on the benefit.
My deep hope is that Illinois is setting an example.
Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker signs a series of criminal justice reform bills. Supporters say the legislation will keep those who don't belong behind bars free. Plus, the owner of a new state line business that recently came under fire speaks out. Animal advocates worry the dog park's background could still put pets at risk. Good evening, I'm Eric Wilson. Mimi Murphy is off tonight. Many American families began receiving child tax credit payments today. The money's part of the Biden administration's pandemic relief plan passed earlier this year. Michelle Rave caught up with two moms with different opinions on the aid. Michelle.
I spoke with one local mother who tells me the child tax credit will help out her family, especially after a rough year due to COVID. While a family choosing to opt out tell me the process wasn't that easy.
The child tax credit, it's just huge for us. Like, it really helps just with groceries themselves.
Casey Woodard is a single mom of 4 and tells me the pandemic has greatly impacted her family.
And the child tax credit just is going to be a huge help with bills and everything, because even being a single mom with 4 kids, I don't get help from the state. I don't get EBT or anything.
The child tax credit isn't new. The American Rescue Plan increased the overall credit by $300 to $3,000 for kids 6 to 17, and an additional $600 to $3,600 for those under 6.
If you do take the refund, half of that $3,000 is going to be paid early between now and the end of the year, and that would only leave $1,500 tax credit to show as a refund on the tax return.
Accountant Jim Torres warns there are other considerations to make as well.
It's not necessarily free money. You would owe tax except for this credit, and it's just a reduction of tax.
While some families welcome the help, others, like the Shoemaker family, are opting out.
It was just a long, tricky process that you had to keep verifying and continually checking emails, text messages, and whatever computer things came through.
As for Casey, after evaluating the pros and cons, she says she did what was best for her family.
Then I found out that it did affect our tax income next year. Like, it will be less for what I get on my taxes, and it will affect that, but it is way more beneficial for me to have it now.
Payments started hitting accounts last night. If you're wondering whether you qualify, you can find that information over on the IRS website. You can find a link to that on mystateline.com. Eric?
Thanks, Michelle. Governor Pritzker signs a bill to promote diversity in Illinois' marijuana dispensary industry. The bill creates 2 lotteries for 110 new licenses. It also authorizes a 3rd lottery for 75 licenses that were supposed to release in 2020. Lotteries will be held July 29th, August 5th, and 19th. One of the lotteries is reserved just for people from areas disproportionately impacted by the war on drugs or with past marijuana-related offenses. In total, more than 200 applicants in Illinois qualify for a license. The governor's office says 2/3 of them are non-white. It was a busy day for Governor Pritzker. He also signed 4 criminal justice bills this morning. The measures encourage restorative justice practices. That's designed to cultivate places where people can speak freely without fear of their words being used against them. The state will also create a resentencing task force. The bills mean Illinois becomes the first state in the nation to prohibit law enforcement from using deceptive tactics while interrogating minors.
False confessions have played a role in far too many wrongful convictions, leading to painful and often life-altering consequences.
The bill also allows states' attorneys to ask courts to reduce sentences based on a person's disciplinary record in prison, proof of rehabilitation, and risk to society. University of Illinois Chicago is getting a new state-of-the-art computer center. Governor Pritzker joined university leaders to break ground on the new computer design, research, and learning facility. The 135,000 square foot center will be both a hub for engineering and computer science, Most of the construction costs are covered by a $98 million allocation from the Rebuild Illinois Initiative. That's the $45 billion bipartisan established fund to repair Illinois' infrastructure. It includes improvements at universities, early childhood education centers, and other state facilities. A twist in the Mollie Tibbetts murder case on the day her convicted killer was supposed to be sentenced. An Iowa judge heard new evidence the defense says reveals who her real killer is. Christian Bahena Rivera was found guilty of the crime back in May. His sentencing was put on hold after two witnesses came forward claiming a man named Gavin Jones killed Tibbetts. Jones was already in jail on unrelated charges when witnesses say he confessed to the crime. Rivera's attorneys also say this new information links Tibbetts' abduction to a possible sex trafficking ring. Prosecutors say they are under no obligation to locate the proposed evidence.
There is nothing in the rules, nothing in the case law that compels the state to chase its tail because they're asking us to do it.
A judge will make a written decision by the end of the week regarding whether these new confessions are admissible. There's also a July 27th hearing about a possible new trial. A new Boone County business has a list of negative reviews before it can even open. Last week, we told you about Canine Splashtastic in Belvidere. The indoor dog park got flack for its ties to a woman convicted of animal cruelty. Rachel Perry joins us now with an update. Rachel?
That's right, Eric. Last week, Stacey Feeblecorn left the Belvidere dog park business. That's after her animal cruelty conviction came out on Facebook. Her former business partner, Justin McMillan, opened up to me today about fighting what he calls an army of people.
I'm one person fighting a whole army.
After a 2015 animal cruelty conviction resurfaced, Stacey Feeblecorn left Canine Splashtastic, an indoor dog park in Belvidere, to her business partner, Justin McMillan, and by doing so, left McMillan to deal with the backlash.
Struggling here, struggling at home because all this, and it's like, but I'm not going to back down.
And despite Feeblecorn leaving the dog park, not all activists believe she's really gone. Some even making artwork of her behind bars.
There's no involvement with her. Yes, she is still on everything, but it's a process. It's not like you can do it overnight.
I would really have to know that she's not involved is the thing, and I don't think we would ever really know that she isn't a part of it.
Barbots created a private Facebook group planning a protest against the business.
To let the community know what, where we stand and stuff, and so they know who they're supporting or not supporting.
But McMillan isn't the only one under fire. Dog trainer Shelby Butterfield says she got caught in the crossfire. After using the space for her own dog training classes, she has since left.
Even with the best intentions, you get wrapped up with someone who's a very good liar.
Butterfield says she feels bad for McMillan.
He cares a lot. I think that he's taken this very personally and taking it as an attack on him instead of really realizing that it's about what she did.
Now, McMillan is asking for people to give him a chance.
Instead of putting these rumors out there, why can't you reach out to me and, say, hey, what is your story?
McMillan tells me no dog is left alone without their owner present. He says hopefully people will eventually enjoy the canine park. Animal Defenders says it will continue to advocate for all animals and not just against canine splashtastics. Eric?
Illinois River is home to a new resort. It's a location specializing in glamour, camping, and fly fishing. Tom McIntyre takes us to Sancody Lakes in tonight's Destination Illinois.
Since December of 2019, workers have been moving dirt at this location in Woodford County near Spring Bay, Illinois. Population 452. Other crews constructed roads, poured concrete and foundations, built buildings, moved rocks and timber. That work went on carefully while COVID swept the country. Now, Sancody Lakes Resort is open.
Sancody Lakes used to be 230 acres of gravel pit. Now, thanks to the efforts of developer Kim Blickenstaff and the spending of millions of dollars, this is now definitely a destination in central Illinois.
Blickenstaff grew up in this area. All of us might want the best for our old hometown, but Kim Blickenstaff has the drive, vision, and money to make it happen here. There's a swimming beach, 3 main lakes for fishing, glamour camping, RV pads, hiking trails, bird watching, canoeing, a restaurant, and almost a mile-long trout fishing stream that winds its way around the complex.
Truly, we want them to be able to, come here and have this wow factor reaction. We want them to say, wow, this is here in central Illinois.
Lori Birkeland says fly fishing in the man-made trout stream has been particularly popular. There's a resident expert on hand, Adam Singley, the director of outdoor activities, to teach the novices how to fly fish for the wily trout. We've got more about trout fishing at Sand-Cody Lakes on the station's website. Lori Birkeland says there's more than just one purpose behind Sand-Cody Lakes.
It's all about making memories with their families. So just really creating a destination where families are happy, they're enjoying each other, they're outdoors, really having a great time.
In Woodford County, I'm Tom McIntyre for Destination Illinois.
Now, your first warm weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Well, tonight will be much more quiet than the weather we had late last night and very early this morning when we had a round of severe thunderstorms roll through the region. We've got the cloud cover, although we've been able to see some sunshine here late this afternoon and evening. Watching a couple of showers, though, that are firing up to the south of us. We've got a few severe thunderstorm warnings well to the south, so not going to be a factor, but that cold front coming through here this afternoon and evening, passing on down to the south. Lining up right along Interstate 88 there from Sterling just to the south of Dixon and getting in towards the Amboy Franklin Grove area just to the north and northwest. We've got a few showers working in. That'll most likely be the area where we'll see some rainfall here as we go through the rest of this evening. Otherwise, we'll keep it a mostly cloudy sky tonight. We have had numerous reports of wind damage from the thunderstorms that came in late last night around midnight, 1 o'clock. Kind of sporadic across the area from Genoa to Belvidere to Freeport to Kent and then down towards Lanark. One particular thunderstorm, though, kind of on the northern edge of that line that came through about 1:45, did produce some very localized straight line wind damage between Beloit and South Beloit. We had reports of numerous trees and power lines down as that storm came through. It was a very localized area of some strong wind gusts. Right now, it looks like it was more straight line wind damage as a result of those thunderstorms. Where we had more tornadoes, that was out in Iowa yesterday afternoon and evening. Look at all the reported tornadoes in and around central and eastern Iowa. Those individual thunderstorms are what kind of formed together into that cluster and moved into our region late last night. As I mentioned, we're much more quiet. I think I forgot to put my pause points on Futurecast, but that's okay because there's not really anything too specific that we really need to talk about. We've got a couple of showers with a low that'll be working along that front later tonight. That'll keep our skies mostly cloudy, and we could see a couple of lighter showers for the first half of the day tomorrow. By Friday afternoon and evening, we should be clearing things out. Now, by Saturday, I do think we'll see a little bit more cloud cover build up. We'll have some residual moisture in the air, so that may fire off a sprinkle or two for the afternoon. A live look with our Mercy SkyTrack camera to our south this evening. We've got some sunshine, but you see the clouds kind of building up with those showers that are passing through Whiteside and Lee County here this evening. Temperature-wise, we've warmed into the upper 70s, still a little on the muggier side. It'll take a bit of time before we get to see that drier air come in at 79 in Freeport, Janesville, but that wind direction shifting around to the north and northeast. That cold front still right along Interstate 88. That will continue to pass to the south. 78 for our weather watcher Sandy in the Kirkland-Fairdale area, checking in with a 77% relative humidity. 77 our temperature for Bob here on the southeast end of Rockford. Had 6/10 of an inch of rain. For some, it was a beneficial rain. For others, not receiving quite as much. We need the rainfall. Not a lot of change in our drought monitor from last week to this week. The rain last night and what we had earlier this week, not taking into account of that. That'll come out with next week's drought monitor. But either way you look at it, we are still fairly dry. 65 for us tonight, couple of showers south, 79 once we head into tomorrow afternoon. We've got that northeasterly wind. Temperatures then, Eric, as we head into the weekend, they'll be comfortable in the lower 80s, but you see us climb into the mid and upper 80s near 90 degrees by next week. Easterly wind, though, that'll keep the dew point temperature down, so not really expecting that humidity to go up.
Now, the Napleton Sports Desk with David Greenberg.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have got ourselves a series. What a game it was last night between the Bucks and the Suns, going down to the wire with the Bucks pulling out a 109-103 victory to even it all up at 2-2. Let's go to the end because, as I mentioned, this was a tight battle. How about the ball movement? Middleton to Giannis, bounce past to Connaughton in the corner, who buries the three, and the Bucks fans are loving it. And this was the play of the game. Devin Booker goes right, lobs it to DeAndre Ayton, but Giannis is there for the huge recovery and the block. Look at this effort. That is why he's got a Defensive Player of the Year trophy on his mantle. Booker popped off for 42 points, but thanks to Chris Middleton's 40, Giannis's 26, along with 14 rebounds and 8 assists, the Bucks even this series up at 2.
In my opinion, the best block of all time. Obviously we're a little biased as far as a block where he was covering the pick and roll. He had to judge where the pass was, where Ayton was catching it and trying to dunk it. It's about as impressive as you can get.
Everybody's tired. Everybody's banged up. Just got to give it all, leave it all on the court. We could rest and sleep and get treatment after the game, but while that game is being played, there's no excuses of exhaustion or something's hurt. If you're hurt, you just can't be out there.
Well, despite his Herculean-type performances, Giannis has been recovering from that hyperextended left knee he suffered in the Eastern Conference Finals. There was a moment during last night's game where it looked like he may have re-injured himself when he went back into the locker room early in the first quarter, but it wasn't exactly for the reason we all feared.
Giannis, this was the second game in a row you went out early in the first quarter. I'm just curious what was going on there.
I wanted to, what you guys say politely, I wanted to take a tinkle. A tinkle? Yeah. I went to take a tinkle, it came back. Yeah.
Hey, when you gotta go, you gotta go. We'll be right back.
Our first Warning Interactive Radar brought to us by Rockford Auto Glass and More. We've got a couple of showers lining up to the south of us this evening. Those will stay to our south tonight. 79 for tomorrow, back into the upper 80s next week.
Thanks, Candace, and thank you for spending some of your time with us. Stay safe.